Hello, it is Janet Clark here with this week's edition of Janet Talks Business TV. So, one of the big ideas that I want to share with you today is really how to make things simpler in your business. Because we know that technology is supposed to make things better, and in many ways it does, but it can also make things feel really complicated. And what may look like a simple system that you're trying to implement might be much more complex, and more than likely is, than it appears. So let me give you an example from an existing client that I'm actually working with right now with the Freedom Shift. So this client needs to organize their sales funnel, streamline their sales process, and leverage their time by offering online training modules. And they're looking for a way to maintain their website, and they've been doing that all by themselves. And they're also trying to create a membership site where they can upload training videos that they're creating. And they want to integrate all of that with Infusionsoft, which is a sales automation tool. So in and of themselves, each component of this system seems like it should be pretty simple to set up, or at least that's what the sales pitch that each one of these systems components are saying, right? So, anyone can do it. It's really simple. However, what this client quickly found was that they were just totally overwhelmed and they couldn't implement any of it. So they were wasting valuable time and really a lot of money because, of course, time is money. And the fact that they're paying for these systems and they're not utilizing them in any way. And month by month, they're going on and on paying for these systems and not getting the use and the value from them. So the fact is that this client is already busy enough just delivering their own training services to their clients and doing cash producing activities, right? Making sales in their business. And the complexity of creating this system was just way too much for them. So when you find yourself in a similar situation, here are 5 steps that you can take. And the first is to engage an expert to help you. Now, whether this is a coach or a project manager or somebody who's going to help you to wrap your head around how to go about resolving and getting these systems implemented. So it's going to create some sort of a synergy when you have somebody else to help you to really get a handle on what the project is. Now, the second thing is to break it into small chunks. And sometimes all you need in order to simplify something is to break it down into smaller parts, and so that you can face them like one at a time. So once you divide up a big project, you can prioritize it, you can create a plan and put that on a calendar, which really brings me to the third step, which is to create a flow chart or a map. Now, it's hard sometimes when you're in the minutia of each project to really see the big picture. Now, I know that my client is struggling with this because as we're working to create each piece, she can't really see how it's coming together. And so it feels to her like we're not making any progress. And that's why a flow chart is really important, because in our case, we actually have 4 separate legs to the flow chart. So there's work that's being done on WordPress to build a website that has a lot of components in it. Then there's the membership site. In our case, we're using iMember 360, and that requires multiple steps to get that set up to work proficiently. Then we have the whole Infusionsoft project. And there's probably a reason why people call it Confusionsoft. And so we actually have to work through that process separately from everything else. And then we have the whole strategic plan that really requires us developing new ideas and email sequences and different programs. So all of these things have to be worked on simultaneously. And so having a flow chart really helps. Now, the fourth thing, which is really critical for an entrepreneur, is to let go of emotions. Now, we all share a common trait, which is why we are in our business, right? It is that we identify with our business. Our egos are all wrapped up in that. And that can really get in your way. So things are going to happen while you're building a business that feel like they're personal, but they're not. So when technology goes on the fluke or something gets missed somewhere along the line, there's going to feel like major problems that can't be overcome, right? And the fact of the matter is these problems and more are going to crop up every single day. Now, if you take every problem as a personal issue and you allow your emotions to get overcome by that, you are going to crash and burn. So letting go of this is one of the hardest things for an entrepreneur to do, but it is a critical success factor. It's not a reflection on you when some moving part breaks down. So there isn't a chance that everything is going to go smoothly. But if you consider that your job is just to work with others that you trust to problem solve and resolve these issues as they come up, then you're going to find yourself moving forward. And the last and number 5 thing is delegate to a team. Now, the best way to master a complex problem or a project is for you to not complete it at all. Use a team that has multiple talent. Now, when you're dealing with complex projects, there are numerous skill sets that are required. It could be things like graphic design, copywriting, strategic planning, project management, HTML coding, software setup, and it just goes on and on. And there's no one person who is going to be a master at all of the above. So you have to be able to allow your expert project manager to run the project and to manage the team. And you'll be able to embrace the concepts that I just mentioned by allowing each one of these steps to take place, right? So you break the job into smaller chunks, you get engaged with an expert who can help you, you create your flow chart so you can see the big picture, and then you just let go of the emotion. So as they say in Inc. magazine, nothing is simpler than just writing a check. So if you have a project that needs to be simplified, feel free to schedule a talk with me below. We will spend 30 minutes breaking down what needs to be done into manageable chunks. I'm happy to spend that time with you, no pressure. So until next week, have a love and light-filled week, and I will talk with you soon. Bye for now.